If you enjoy my content here on YouTube, check me out over on Twitch and give me a follow at twitch.tv/Big D Geekdom 101. There I stream video games, new and old, as well as sometimes even host watch parties of classic Dragon Ball episodes while giving you commentary and tidbits. It's a fun time had by all. Once again, that's twitch.tv/Big D Geekdom 101. Go check me out and give me a follow. Boy, do we have some interesting news, and boy, do I have something to talk about. So, Star Wars celebrations going on right now. We have the announcement of the next 3 Star Wars films, probably episodes 10, 11, and 12, but either way, it's going to be taking place after Rise of Skywalker. Here's Andy Signor with the report. Daisy Ridley is back as Rey. There's been rumors about this for quite some time. In 3 new Star Wars films directed by James Mangold, who's a great filmmaker. He's doing Indy 5. He did Copland. Dave Filoni, who we all know and love from the Star Wars TV shows and the animated shows. And Charmin Obaid Chinoy. I have no idea who that is, but who knows? I'll look into it after this video. All on stage as Star Wars Celebration films take place 15 years after the events of the Rise of Skywalker, rebuilding the New Jedi Order. So it's without question, this is going to be episodes 10, 11, and 12. Obviously, at this point in the timeline, the past is hopefully forgotten about. And at this point in the timeline, Rey is now the Jedi Master. Now, there's a couple things I want to talk about. First of all, I know a lot of people don't like Rey, and I understand why. It's not Daisy Ridley, it's the character. So having a new Star Wars series starring Rey is just something a lot of folks aren't happy about, and I kind of understand why. I don't know if it's going to be any good. The thing is this, y'all. In order for these 3 movies to be good, they have to make sure they don't make the same mistakes they made with episodes 7, 8, and 9. Meaning, they have to have a story that actually flows, a story that actually is planned out. They have to plan out these films before they write and shoot them, and they have to make sure the story makes sense. Their biggest mistake with episodes 7, 8, and 9 was they didn't plan things out. They have to plan things out now. So there's that. That's number 1. Number 2, they have to also make sure to not make it too political and to just have too personal political. Just have a fun Star Wars story. I think that the fans of Star Wars might be willing to be interested in this if they know it's going to be a good story. However, when the first trailer for the first movie drops, I know it's going to get crapped on a lot because people are naturally not trusting Disney or Kathy Kennedy. I want to say this also. I have been saying on this channel for years that people like Doomcock are completely full of shit. I've been saying that he has no real sources. I have them because you've heard me say things. You've heard me spoil entire movies before there's been trailers. I'm legit. This guy Doomcock either steals his information from 4chan, like for example the Rise of Skywalker spoilers that he stole from Jedi Paxis. People defend him for this and make it seem like he was the one that found them when he wasn't. He jacked them from Jedi Paxis. And then he goes on to say that there's an internal civil war at Lucasfilm, which is a lie, and that Kathy Kennedy is going to get removed and won't see Rey again. Well, guess what? Kathy Kennedy is still involved in Star Wars, for better or for worse. I'm not a fan of hers, but she is, and Rey is going to be the main character. So these people at Lucasfilm, not only did they not remove Kathy Kennedy, they doubled down on it. So at this point, maybe a lot of you guys, and I'm not saying you guys are like this, you guys are my followers, but those of you who still do watch Doomcock, maybe some of you guys will actually understand that this guy's completely full of it. He's been wrong most of the time. He's a moron who just makes up news and somehow has a lot of views. Now, I'm not trying to start drama with this fucking guy, but I saw this and it's like, okay, really? You know what I mean? Really? And I knew the whole time it was bullshit. Hopefully now with this evidence, now you guys know that it's not. So the news is 3 more Star Wars movies coming. Don't have release dates on them. Don't know the names of them yet. So it is what it is. I also saw the Ahsoka trailer and it does look pretty neat. So it is what it is, y'all. 3 new Star Wars movies are coming. Rey is the main character. Boy, is this going to cause controversy. Hopefully they won't do any of the woke stuff and they'll just keep it as a good story like what Colin Trevorrow's episode 9 was. We don't know who the writers are going to be either. But like I said, the important thing is make sure they have a plan this time. Make sure that you have a freaking plan. You know what I mean? And this picture right here, as you can see, is them on stage at Star Wars Celebration. There we have Daisy Ridley in the red. On the right, we have that other filmmaker. I think that's her. And then we have on the left James Mangold, and in the middle Dave Filoni. Now I do trust these filmmakers, and is the fact that Dave Filoni is there makes me feel at ease, because he is somebody who's trying to preserve Lucas's vision of Star Wars. He is a guy who's not going to do the gaga that Rian Johnson did. He is a guy who is going to keep to the traditions of what Star Wars is. So if he's got any kind of creative input, that makes me feel a hell of a lot better. But you guys got to remember something. What happened with all these other Star Wars movies? How come so many directors were changed out? For all we know, these 3 directors might not even direct the movies. Remember what happened to Colin Trevorrow. Remember what happened to Lord Miller. Remember what happened with Ron Howard. Remember what happened with when they had to go back and redo Rogue One. Like, are these directors actually going to do these movies, or will there be another problem? Remember what happened with Patty Jenkins and her movie. So these Star Wars announcements are never really concrete for me. Yes, this is probably going to happen. You guys know that they're not going to have Ridley under contract and not use her. Hopefully John Boyega will play Finn, but there's no guarantee on that either. But yes, they're going to have Ridley under contract. They have her there, and she's going to continue the story from Rise of Skywalker, which you can kind of tell was going to continue because of the ending where she has her yellow lightsaber, and I thought it was going to be in books, but I don't know if these filmmakers are going to actually direct the movie. Hopefully we won't get any of those behind the scenes problems that we've heard about and seen. Like the actual problems, not the BS that Doomcock made up. I mean, like the actual problems, bro. Maybe like the actual problems. You know what I'm saying? Like fix them, like meaning the story. Make the story good. Again, I'm very cautious on this. I'm not really optimistic. And look what Andy said right here. Andy said, anyone who said they'd erase the sequel trilogy or fire Kathleen Kennedy had no clue what they were talking about. Star Wars instead doubled down. That said, with all the directors she fired, I'll believe it when I see it. So he's actually saying the same thing I said, yo. I didn't even see that comment. These directors might not even stay on. But I do hope that Filoni, if he doesn't stay on, is at least going to help write the story. I would like it if he wrote all 3 films, because then at least, even if it's not the script, even if it's just a story treatment, because then at least we have a guy who genuinely respects George Lucas's vision, and we have a guy who is going to preserve Star Wars for what it is and not write nonsense. Obviously, with him being there, does that mean we're going to see Ahsoka? Does that mean we're going to see Grogu? I'm going to say yes. I'm telling you right now, I think Grogu's going to be in these movies. Grogu's way too popular. He's way too much of a fan favorite now to not put him in these movies. He'll be in one of these movies, if not all of them. But Ahsoka, maybe not. But obviously, Filoni has like a hard-on for Ahsoka. He is always pushing her and whatnot, always doing stuff with her. Which, by the way, I saw the trailer earlier and it was fire. So, again, I'm not super excited for these 3 new movies, but I hope they're good. All I can say is I hope that they're good and they can help redeem Disney and they give us good stuff. What do you think? Let me know down below and we'll talk soon.